Hi, this is Sammy again. Today we're going to learn how to factor some tough equations. So we're going to start with the first one, 16x to the 4 minus 81y to the 4. So the first thing you have to realize here, you have to realize this is the difference of squares, or the difference of two squares, which means this here has to be a perfect square, and then also has to be a perfect square, and then it's the difference in between, so it's a minus. When that's the case, all you need to do is just open two set of brackets, put a minus in one and put a plus in one. It doesn't matter which is which. Yeah. And after that, you go to the first term here and square root this term. So when you're square rooting a term, a variable, and a coefficient, what you're doing is you square rooting the 16, which is 4, and you're square rooting x to the 4, which gives you x squared. And then you go to this, also you square root it. Square root of 81 is 9. Square root of y to the 4 is y squared. And then we do that one more time. So we just rewrite these here, except with a plus sign. So we have 4x squared plus 9y squared. Okay, so that's the first thing we do. Now, does this stop here? Well, in here, right here, it stops because these are perfect squares again, but this is a plus. We cannot do the sum of squares. We cannot factor the sum of two squares. But if you look at the left side here, this we could still factor yet, because it's a perfect square here, a perfect square there, and it's the difference of two squares. So I'm gonna factor this, but this one here, I'm just gonna keep it the way it is because we cannot factor the sum of squares. Now, how do we factor this? Again, you make 1 plus, 1 minus, it doesn't matter. And you look at the square root of this, square root of 4x squared, the square root of 4 is 2, the square root of x squared is x. You write that in here and here. And then you look at the second part right here, the square root of 9y squared, the square root of 9 is 3, and the square root of y squared is y. You write this here, and you write it there, and this question is finished. Okay. Now let's go to the second question here. This question here, some students, they still factor it right from here. The only thing, the chance of making a mistake when you do that is it's pretty high. Okay, so what we do, we take a shortcut by making this maybe more simple by let a equal to x minus 1 and b equals y plus 4. So if we do that, then we could rewrite this as a squared minus b squared, because a is 2x minus 1, and you have the square on top of it, and b is y plus 4, and you have the square on top of it. Now, this is easy to factor. This factors into a minus b, a plus b. Yeah. Now, then once we do this, this is called substitution. Now we have to go back and substitute the 2x minus 1 for the a's in here and the y plus 4 for the b's in here. So the first one is going to be 2x minus 1 for the a minus, because it's minus, then you open brackets and you write the b, which is y plus 4. Okay, just because it's minus. Okay, but in here, in this case here, a is 2x minus 1. Because it's a plus, you don't have to put a brackets in here. You could just write y plus 4, and you'll be fine with that. Why? Because here the negative is going to change the signs inside the brackets. So this one will be 2x minus 1 minus y minus 4. And that's why we put in the negative in there. Now for this one, let's collect like terms. So we're just going to rewrite this as 2x. And I'm going to write the plus y first. And then negative 1 plus 4 will just give me plus 3. And that's that. And this here, we're going to rewrite this as 2x minus y. Negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. And then this here, we'll just rewrite it again. And this is how you factor that one. You might be able to get away just by looking at that as a difference of squares, because this is one term and it's perfect square, and this is a second term and it's a perfect square, and between them a minus. So you go, it's this minus this, and then it's this plus that. Some students will do it that way. Yeah, but I'll show you another question that if you do that, the chance of making mistakes is very, very high. Okay, so that's the last question we'll do. So with this one here, you look at it, and you think it's the difference of squares, but the 32 and the 18 are not perfect squares, so it's not really the difference of squares yet. However, the first thing we learn in factoring is taking out the greatest common factor. And I could see right away that here, from the 18 and the 32, I could take out 2 as the greatest common factor, and then I'll have 16 x plus 2 squared minus 9 2y minus 3 squared. Then I just closed the square bracket there. So we took the 2 out from the 32 and the 18, and that's what we got. Okay, so that's a 16 there. Now, definitely go ahead and let A be x plus 2. You know, you could use any variable, M, A, then, and B be the 2y minus 3. Now, if I do that, then this becomes 2 square bracket 16. This is A, so we just write 16a squared minus 9, and that's the B, so we write B squared right here. And if we want to factor this, we still have the 2 outside here. Yeah. And if we want to factor this, the square root of 16a squared is just 4a. 4a. And then 1 is minus, 1 is plus. And the square root of b, 9b squared is just 3b. So you put that there and that there. Okay. Now, of course, at this stage, we're going to rewrite this with the 2. We have the square bracket right here, and we have the 4. As we said, the a is x plus 2, so we're just going to sub in x plus 2 for the a's. So x plus 2. And then it's minus 3, and the b is 2y minus 3. Close this square bracket, and then we'll just rewrite this again for 4. And then it's 4a, so 4a is x plus 2. And then it's a plus, and 3 2y minus 3. Close the bracket. Now here, we're going to go there, and then now start distributing that into there. So you're going to get 4x plus 8 minus 6y plus 9. So I'm just distributing the negative 3 here and there. And for this is going to be 4x plus 8 plus 6y minus 9. And that will simplify into 2 brackets, 4x, and I'm just going to write minus 6y first. 8 plus 9 is 17, so plus 17. And with the other one is 4x plus 6y, and 8 minus 9 is just negative 1. And that is the factor for the second one. And that's it for that. It's they're a little bit tough, not your usual factoring. They made this a little bit more complicated for challenging questions, but they're doable. Okay. Again, don't forget to hit that like button, share with people who could benefit, and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.